welcome to my vlog. So I'm standing on this open country road on this glorious morning with the birds singing. Now in a silver birch wood over this dry stone wall, or as it's called in Scotland, a dry stone wall, I've noticed an abandoned vehicle. Now I've got permission to go onto the owner's land and have a proper look at this, and what we have is a dilapidated ex-military vehicle, I believe from the owner that is ex-Falklands. It's certainly been well used. The bodywork is not good at all, extremely rusted, but it's a project that I would be very interested in. Now whether I can restore this or not, well, I'm not certain. It would take a lot of fabrication. The main thing is the chassis there and the engine. There are some tracks here, some are spares. You can see that there are various bits and pieces on this land where it's all been thrown about. Now according to the owner, it was used by an estate for grouse shooting on one of the Outer Hebrides Islands, and then he brought it here about 7 years ago and it's just stuck here, and he was going to restore it, but now he's changed his mind. He's going to let it go now. There's some various bits and pieces lying about here and there and under some corrugated tin. Apparently the guy has removed the rear section of this and has turned it into a tipper. It's not here at the moment, it's somewhere else where he's been modifying it. Hopefully get some pictures of that at a later date. The main thing is the drive, the chassis is here, what state it's in. I've been assured that it works. So there's the drive to the rear and the electrical takeoff. And here's the shafts. And it's nice and heavy duty, all works. So that's where the connecting shaft goes to there on the universal joint. And then as we move up, I believe there's the fuel tanks here. They've been taken away. He's assured me that they are okay. I don't know if they're too rusty, but you can see that the bodywork, some of it's okay. And as for this, well, metal, some of it. Tracks, not too bad. They don't look as though they're on there. That looks as though that's come off the wheel. Another one here. Pretty heavy stuff. As we'll come down the left hand side and have a look here. As I say, it's been sitting here 7 years, so I doubt if it's going to be moved. So it's amphibious as well. But if you took this into any water, this goes straight to the bottom, a question of a doubt. So it would need a full strip down. Anyway, let's have a look at the inside, if we can get this up. We can get that up. Hold that there without it falling down. Okay, so here's the interior of it, and it's pretty mucky. We got a lot of bird stuff. They've been in here. There's plenty of rust on the floor. Transmission housing looks in reasonable condition. This is bits of wood. You can see the back panel, the seat frame over there. Some bits and pieces there. Looks as though the mice have been in here. And then you got the various shifts there, gears and what have you, the pedals. Ooh, that works. Not much resistance there. I suppose that's a good sign. Okay, let's work on down then. Lots of bits missing. Here's the engine cover. This has lost its hinge here. I've been told people have been taking bits and pieces from it over the years, the headlights being one of them. I understand that if this vent is at the front, it denotes a later model as opposed to the vent being further up. And as you can see, quite a state. No different this side. In actual fact, I think you can see more of the chassis down here, where it's even worse than the other side. Yeah, I mean, it's completely gone here. Look at this. That's no good there. And of course the support runner is using the body here to support the track, so that looks as though that will snap off as soon as you move it. Let's have a look on this side if we can. No, I think that's locked from inside. Yeah, track is broken. Look at those guide teeth there. There's some solid ones. Let's move around here. Yeah, that track's broken. And again, as we saw in the original, I don't know what this is. Some takeoff. But look at this. Yeah, this is totally gone. Let's just climb up here. Let's get a shot down there. Broken windscreen. There's a plate there. There's a chassis plate somewhere. Oh, come away. So that's just the gear selection plate. Yeah, cramped. Let's see if we can get this bonnet up. It looks as though it's detached. Yep, that's detached. And I'm getting prickles where I shouldn't get prickles. Yes. Okay, well nothing's jumped out at me. We'll need to get some push through here. Oh, no. That's not going to stay. Right, okay. Okay, we're going to need another method to hold that up. After a fair bit of effort, I've managed to get the bonnet up. It is very precarious. Everything's crumbling around it. But here is the engine bay. You can see it's very rusty here and underneath there as well. I mean, it is more rust than there is metal, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I doubt that's salvageable. It's amazing what you can do. Of course, it's when you do fabrication, it's finding some metal to weld to, and then before you know it, you've replaced all kinds of panels. Radiator, well, looks all right, the radiator. Not going to go too far in because this thing could collapse on me at any time. Looks as though there's two Strombergs there. Fan belt looks in good condition. There's obviously some bits missing that come off from here and go over, well, into the Stromberg, for example, air filter and what have you. Obviously there's the snorkel devices too. Take the exhaust up and out on the top of the bonnet. Let's just get through this gorse again. Ooh. You can see around here the seat, we've got the roof rack, various beams. They're in pretty good nick in actual fact, but then you would expect that from that sort of thickness of steel. I mean, if it's going to protect people, then if it rolls. Looks like a tank down there of some sort. I don't know whether that's off of there. Other bits and pieces. Let's walk around here. Make our way through the gorse. So what do we got around here? Looks like the rear frame or body of the original rear, being the sides of the trailer, and then it would have seating in there. If I'm not mistaken, that looks like a towing bracket. Yeah, it looks like a towing bracket. Under here, several pieces of corrugated tin. Looks like some old chicken house. Let's just pull that off. Underneath that corrugated tin, we have the upturned seat, the rear unit, and inside there are spares. There's a spare sprocket wheel there, several spare sprocket wheels, and running wheels, different treads, some with tyres with treads on, others with not. Strangely enough, those seat frames look in good condition. Yeah, that's a bonus. What do we got here? Not sure what that is. I don't think that's anything to do with it. What do we got here? We've got bits grown up around it. Wiring. I don't know where that goes to. Ooh. Forestry. Looks like some shaft. There's bits all over the place. Now over here, we have the body. I don't know what's in there. Bits and pieces. Could be something to do with this. I don't know if anybody recognises just by that door alone. That is a body of an old G-Wagon, Mercedes G-Wagon. And the guy was telling me... Ooh, ow. The guy was telling me that what he intended to do, take the rear, which he's converted and is elsewhere at the moment, and then because that body on there is so poor, he's going to take that off and he was going to put that on. So here she is, Volvo BV202 in serious state of disrepair and decay, but it seems mostly there and parts should be available, but it's going to be a good restoration project, and when I get all these bits and pieces back, get them all sorted out, I'll have a better understanding of what's here and I'll be able to show you in greater detail. So you can see me at some point. We'll get this back to where I live, and I have a few other projects as well, and you can see me do something with this and have some fun out of it, and you can see me take it apart and learn a bit more about the BV202. My name's Steve, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.